All right, got the glasses on today. Let's go. I'm go ahead and just hands free today. So, TGIF, another week, another another work week in the books. Literally 30 days until moving time, allegedly. Now I'm gonna work on getting those orders in my hand. I gotta get all of my stuff for out processing situated, but they will not let me go. Still haven't written my declaration. I don't know. One, I don't have my last officer performance brief that closed out on the 30th of May. It's not in my record yet. So I guess I could give an excuse to say I'm waiting for that, though I could get a copy of it. And part of this is me waiting to the last minute because I don't actually want. They're not gonna present it to me. They wouldn't. But I don't want them to either. I don't know. It's usually when you get a decoration, you only get the first time you win that decoration. That's typically the only time it's presented. And this will be my excuse me. This will be like my third or fourth meritorious service medal. And so it's nothing to shake your head at or anything like that. But I always felt like decorations are not necessarily for the unit that you're coming from. They're more for the unit that you're going to. And the reason why I feel like that is it just speaks to the caliber. I thought it would be a cool way, like, to speak to the caliber of the new officer that you're receiving. And so people can know, like, all right, so this dude, at his last assignment, he was responsible for X amount of people, X amount of dollars, these programs, and under his leadership, X, Y, and Z happened. And the distinctive accomplishments of such and such led to such and such. That's typically the way a decoration is. And so yeah, I feel like the new unit should get that. A lot of times though, a decoration just goes into your record and it's done. No one ever hears from it again. And I think that's up to leadership to kind of keep that tradition alive. But a lot of times leadership does not even write the decoration. A lot of times it's the member that writes the decoration or the citation. And so for me, I think it's the Air Force, we have lost a bit of our way when it comes to that culture of award and decoration. So much of the original intent has been lost, where it's basically just, if you want to receive an award, well, you better write up the package yourself. The leader is not often looking at everyone that they're responsible for that falls under a particular category, and they're not saying, you know what, you had an outstanding month or quarter, so I'm going to put you in for my field grade officer of the quarter. It's most of the time is, hey, does anybody have a submission for a package? And then somebody, you have the tryhards that yes, they have a package. They may not have done anything, in fact, significant, but if they're an adept writer, they can make, a mountain out of molehills. And then you have that person that's like me, kind of, I fall into this category where it's like, man, I ain't worried about that. I'm not getting 05, and I'm not taking any. You're not going to give me any additional time to write this, so I'm not going to take any additional time to write it. You know, if someone wants to recognize me, then they'll recognize me. That's not the right attitude to have, though. The right attitude to have is whatever the culture is, you do what the culture says do. And I recognize that, but again, I be thinking, and so that's sometimes it's better to just do than think. Although they tell me officers are supposed to be thinkers and leaders, a lot of times in some units, thinking is not prioritized. It's how well can you do what I say. Or sometimes a leader may have an opinion of a follower that they don't actually want their opinion. Like when I have an opinion, I'll give it to you. Or when I want an opinion, I'll give you one. Some leaders take that. Yeah. I'm telling you, in the military, man, I've had my share of good leaders, and I've excuse me, I gotta go. And I've had my share of bad leaders. I will say, honestly, I would like to say there's been a 50-50 split of good and bad, but it's probably been more bad than good, if we're being real. CSAO, I don't know what those things mean. CSA, I don't know what any of that stuff means. I'm not even gonna say it. So it probably could be the nicest thing, but again, I don't know what it is, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. But thank you. I keep telling YouTube don't listen to my ideas, because YouTube don't really watch my videos because I don't get enough traffic. But I really believe, since YouTube falls under that Google umbrella, why would you not have Google Translate on YouTube Live? Raquel says, yes, you do. Yes, you do what? Yes, you do what? What? My funny story, she not really my work spouse. She don't be looking out for me. But I just explained her because she was the female that I interacted with in my office the most. So I explained her to my wife as my work spouse. But it ain't nothing like that. No, it's nothing. But anyway, my work spouse, her name is Raquel. So, but not really. But yeah, so today I am on a run profile, but you notice I am not in my typical military uniform. I'm in my reindeer games uniform, because there's going to be some reindeer games going on. And so I've had this cold for like 3 weeks, and I haven't run in 3 weeks. And you know, when you have a cold, see, this is what I tried to do this before, and so I learned, hey man, you're not a young chicken anymore, and so don't try to do young chicken things. I tried to, like, I still had a cold, but I went out and I ran, and then the next morning I woke up. When I was breathing, I noticed there was a snap crackle pop in my chest, and so I stopped doing that. And that snap crackle pop that was in my chest, it was like every time I breathed in, I could hear it and feel it. It almost felt like liquid, like bubbles were inside of my chest. And so I attributed that to getting those lungs open and having some type of inflammation going on, and that it became bronchitis. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't be alive. Probably shouldn't be talking. But I'm hard-headed. So yeah. So today is Team Challenge Day. This is Education Day 2 of 25 Fox, Class 25 Fox. I like this class. They we had our commander's call yesterday, and when I stood up to give my introduction, I was the last teacher to give my introduction because I'm a reserve instructor, and I was the only reserve instructor there because the other two are on leave and one is on baby leave. Which shout out to her. That's probably the hardest thing you could do as a woman is birth the baby and be with that baby and raise that baby. Like from that baby, that infant, that's a hard time, man. Because some babies don't want to sleep for more than 2 hours at a time, it seems like. And everything depends on you. Everything. I can remember, I'm a detour because I'm all over the place anyway. I can remember when I had my first baby, I was in dental school and I did not get up when that baby, like once dental school started, I was like, you got him. Now guess what? The funny thing is my wife was in professional school. She was in graduate school. But like for some reason, I know the reason. I'm selfish. And I'm the baby. I would get up. I would change his diaper. She would hit me. Get up, get up. I had changed his diaper or whatever, and then put him back in the bed. And it would seem like by the time I finished changing his diaper, giving him a bottle, putting him back in the bed, you put him down and literally he'd be waking right back up. Like you put him down and you go back get in the bed, and he'd be like, eh. And so I don't know how I in fact ended up having 6 children, because if I were to use my first child as the barometer for whether I want to have children again, I probably wouldn't have. But it's so funny because as a parent, you forget all of those times, all of those unpleasant wake up every hour on the hour times. You forget about them, and it just becomes this fond memory, and you just kind of see the child. And the funny thing is like I didn't realize my firstborn was showing me his personality like very early. The funniest thing that he did when he was born was he literally peed on the doctor. He was born via cesarean, and when they pulled him out and wiped him off and everything, the doctor was holding him up, and like the doctor's looking at me and holding him up. Like, I got your baby, here he is. And my son was like, he just tinkled on him. Like, it was a string tinkle. I'm like, man, this is a baby, and that was kind of disrespectful. But that's what he did. And so much mucus right now. I took Mucinex, and it works. It's just coming. I'm sorry. But yeah. So his birthday is in 15 days, but my fourth born, his birthday is today, and I'm failing. This is how I know I'm getting old. Normally for my children, I take off for their birthdays. We don't play when it comes to that. But like this year, I didn't. I don't think. The only time I took off for their birthdays was when their birthday fell on the weekend. And I don't know. I don't like it. This time, I would have, like, historically, I have not had a problem just calling in the same day or the day before, be like, hey, I need to take some leave. But because I was not forward thinking and I was just so stressed with acquiring this home, which, by the way, we closed on that home in 11 days. So it worked out in the end. But I was so focused on that. Oh, God. I ended up not tracking, because they told me, they was like, hey, man, make sure you plan out, put all of your out processing stuff, put it on the calendar, put all of your appointments that you need to go to, put them on the calendar. Any leave and all of that stuff, put it on there because we have a small bench. And I'm like, yeah, all right. But what they ended up doing was, this class was really good. These new instructors, they were really good about forecasting their leave. And the previous class, they didn't. It would be like a 2-week thing. And so, since they were so good, the operations officers were able to go in there and just plug and play people. And so everybody put their leave in except for me. And so they signed me up and they volunteered me to teach on pretty much every spot that I didn't have leave on. And I was complaining about it at first, but honestly, when them captains came here, and my wife told me this, she was like, when I came home from work, she was like, you seem happy. You seem happy today. Like happier. Because like the union politics are exhausting, but when them captains show up, man, it's just something about them captains. I looked in their faces at the commander's call, and I got energized. Hey, all right, how you doing, my son?
Yes, sir, man.
You too. And I'm supposed to be outside running like this. But yeah, they started at 8 o'clock. It's 8:02. And so my idea as a reserve instructor, well, not my idea. The squadron's idea as a reserve instructor is that, hey, like, just be ready to go. If one of the instructors falls, because instructors do fall, and they do, like, trip over things, or they do injure themselves, or twist their ankles, or all types of stupid stuff, which I, by the way, have never done, but people do it. It has happened. Literally, we had a student one time, this girl, I think she like dislocated her knee or something. She tripped and dislocated her knee. Oh no, she might have tore her MCL. She was the sweetest little captain, but just I don't know. She was a little clumsy, a little ditzy. Sweet, very sweet, very sweet. She probably was my favorite student. Not even gonna lie, just how thoughtful she was. And she was medical. But yeah, so I'm supposed to be available for that, to jump in, and hopefully they don't ask me because I can't run. I mean, I can go out there, I can like move my legs, but there's gonna be a toll to pay. I'm gonna tell you, because in 3 years, if I'm hanging that up, we gonna toss in that chest rattling. That's all already on my medical record. That rattle in the chest, that battle rattle, that's in there. Like, the military gave me that. I've never had that chest rattle breathing in until I got to the military. So there's always those commercials on Facebook. If you were stationed at Camp Lejeune from the years of blah 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 to blah blah blah, you may be eligible for compensation because they did something that they shouldn't have been doing on the military base environmentally, and you now qualify for reparations, as it were. Speaking of reparations, man, it would be amazing if we can get some reparations. Look at the Bulls. I love it. I love it. Look at the Bulls. Bulls. See, this is my squadron right here. They go Macho Man Randy Savage. They're getting ready to run. They're going to do some problem solving, and then they're going to end up at what is called the Ritchie Center. And the Ritchie Center is, so I think our first commandant of SOS back in 1950, his name was Captain, no, he wasn't a captain, I'm silly. His name was Ritchie, Colonel Ritchie. And so this place where we do a lot of our meeting and centering, and after we finish and we talk and discuss things, is called the Richie Center. And so that's where I'm about to go, and I'm gonna await to be contacted by anyone. Oh, we got Trevor out here. Now Trevor know he can't run. That's the deal. He out here. I remember I wasn't even that good condition. The problem is, let me tell you, no fault to him, honestly. The military keep you so busy that if you have a lot going on at home, and he does, he's got 4 kids, and his wife homeschools, he's got a lot going on. You really have to find time for PT, physical training time. And if you're not intentional with that thing, you can get really behind and really jammed up fitness-wise. And I would say I fall in that category. Back when I was in the dental squadron, I used to run every day. And why did I run every day? Because at 3 p.m. every day, we wrapped up. We done for the day. No more patients, go PT. And we as a unit would all run a mile and a half at 3. When everybody got to the gym, everybody rally up, stretch out, and we run that mile and a half. Now, there would be people that after they mile and a half, they would go in the gym, they would go work out. I was not one of those people. Because, again, only thing you had to do was run a mile and a half. And so I did what I had to do to get back to my wife and my baby. And so, because the unit made it a part of our day, they literally gave us the space during the duty day to do fitness. There was an emphasis on fitness. And that was when I ran my best mile and a half time, which was a 10 and a half mile and a half, which is not fast. But for me to try to run a 10 and a half mile and a half right now, I probably would go into cardiac arrest if I tried to do that right now. I remember my wing commander, who was a colonel at the time, this guy ran a mile and a half in like 9 minutes and 40 seconds. He was a pilot. And he ended up being a general. That guy was amazing. But like, he was like my age now. Nah, he might have been a little bit older. He might have been like in his late 40s. Running a 940 mile and a half. Which, if you put an emphasis on fitness, you can be fit. But again, the military gives you so much task in a day. And I'm not complaining, this is just the situation. So many tasks to complete. And then there's additional duties. And then there's your family stuff. And so you saw how I said primary duties and additional duties and family stuff. I ain't got no more hands. And so the third hand would be family stuff. The fourth hand would be fitness. I think that's one place where Squadron Officer School should be better. Emphasizing the physical fitness of every instructor. Every instructor should be out here, be able to run a 5K with no problem. Every instructor should be out here able to run these team challenges with no issues. There shouldn't be any instructors falling out, or that should not be a thing. And I don't think it is a thing necessarily, but it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. But anyway, I'm about to go over to this Richie Center. I'm gonna see what I can see. They look tired, and it's hot out here too. Don't forget, this is Montgomery, Alabama heat, and this is August. Montgomery, Alabama heat in August is no game. It is not for the faint of heart. you actually can't fall out. Now, instructors falling out, like anybody falling out. You could be in good shape, but if you're not accustomed to running in this heat, you can't fall out. And no one would look at you strange because it's human, and it sneaks up on you. So I'm gonna go over to this Ritchie Center. From the Ritchie Center, they have one task that they do at the Ritchie Center, which is task number 2, and then they have task number 3. They have to run the paperclip, which is I don't know. It's a mad scientist invented the paperclip. It's a 1.5-mile track, but it's in the shape of a paperclip. And so, like, you run all the way down, and then you come back. You know what a paperclip is shaped like. That's literally what the running track is. It's awful because when you think you should be finished, you're not finished. You just keep running down and back and down and in, and it's just like, when is this monstrosity gonna be over? But anyway, I'm about to go over to Richard Center. I think I see the DO trotting over here, so I'm gonna go link up with him. Y'all have a good one. Be blessed.